Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our class meeting. For this meeting, we're going to be looking at that social studies worksheet that we spoke of last episode. So let's go. So we have our social studies study sheet. Study and know the following concepts. Okay, let's get this all set up. Gone too far. Good. Number one, the solar system consists of the sun, moon, and the eight planets. So let's remember that back in 2006, we changed from 9 to 8 planets. To remember them, we say, my very elegant mother just served us noodles. That is the order from the sun in terms of distance and order in terms of size. We would say Jason sat under 98 monster munching penguins. There would be for Pluto, but we just keep that little say order. Okay. Number two, our galaxy is called the Milky Way. So we have galaxies, which we know are a collection of a star is a ball of burning gases. The universe is a collection of galaxies. The path along which a planet moves is its orbit. And remember that the orbits are elliptical. The full movement that a planet makes around the sun is called a revolution. And that's in terms of time, a year. So planets that are close will have a year, while planets that are further from the sun will have a longer year. The orbits of all planets are elliptical in shape. The planets are two groups, the inner planets and the outer planets. The inner planets are separated from the outer planets by a band of asteroids, and we call that the asteroid belt. The inner planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. The planets are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Mercury is the nearest planet to the sun. Pluto is the furthest planet away from the sun. Of course, now we know that Pluto is no longer considered a full planet of our solar system. So it would be Neptune. And Mercury is the nearest one to the sun. Neptune would be the furthest one from the sun. The Earth is unique because it can support life, that is, plants and animals. Mercury takes 88 days to revolve around the sun. Venus is the brightest planet in the sky. It's called the morning and the evening star. Venus was the Roman goddess of love and beauty. Venus's atmosphere is of carbon dioxide. Venus is the hottest planet. Earth is 93 million miles away from the sun. Earth has one moon. Approximately 71% of Earth is water. Earth takes 365 and a quarter days to orbit the sun. The Earth revolves on its axis once every 24 hours. The most abundant gas in the Earth's atmosphere is nitrogen. Mars is called the red planet. Two moons, Deimos and Phobos. Mars's atmosphere is mainly carbon dioxide. Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system. Jupiter is about 1,295 times the size of Earth. Jupiter takes about 12 years to orbit the sun. At this time, Jupiter had 16 moons. We know that it's well over 63 moons at this time. A star is a burning gases. The universe, we did these already. Let's go past that. So, the most abundant gas is nitrogen. Oxygen is used by all living things. Plants use carbon dioxide to make food, right? Their food. Global warming is caused by excess carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and the shape of the Earth is spherical. Okay. So now 39. The blanket of air surrounding the Earth is called the atmosphere. 40. The Earth's surface is made up of water bodies. 29% of the Earth's atmosphere consists of land. This should be Earth's surface. All right. Let's zoom this out a little bit so we can get a better look at this map of the world showing land masses and water bodies. So here we have the land masses. We have North America, South America, we have Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia, Antarctica. Let's go with the oceans. We have the Pacific Ocean on both sides. Why? Because this map represents the globe, which is spherical, but the map is flat. So when we put it flat, we'll have the Pacific Ocean shown on both sides. We have the Pacific, we have the Atlantic, and the equator would run somewhere through here. So we would have the North Atlantic and the South Atlantic. We have the Arctic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, the Southern Ocean. All right. So let's see if we can point. So here we have Greenland. This little one here to the right of Africa would be Madagascar. And to the right of Australia, we would have New Zealand. Okay. All right. Let's make this a little bigger. Okay. So the largest continent is Asia. There are 7 continents and 5 oceans. Australia is the island. Australia is also the smallest continent. The Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean Sea, large water Caribbean islands. Mount Everest is the highest mountain peak in Asia. Mount McKinley is the highest mountain peak in North America. Europe's highest mountain peak is Mont Blanc. Number 50, the Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean. The Danube and Volga are the longest rivers in Europe. We have another diagram. Let me see. All right. Hope that's not too small. So here we have some land masses. So we have a plateau, which a flat top mountain. We have the mountain, and you know that the mountain will have sharp slopes and a peak. We'll have a hill, which is sloping, but not as high as a mountain. Okay. And beyond that, we would have lowland areas. Okay. All right. So here we have a better view of it here. So we have the hill, we have the plain, we have the coast, we have this, right? And you know that the coast would be land that adjoins the sea. meets, that would be called the coast. We have a river here, and we know that rivers usually start in highland areas and they flow to lower areas. So if we go now to 55, a mountain is an area over 600 meters above sea level, and 53, a highland area between 100 and 600 meters above sea level is a hill. All right, let's go down. A plateau is a flat topped mountain or a flat topped area at the top of a mountain. A valley is a flat or low area between two highland areas. And in our book, we saw that the valley can be V-shaped or U-shaped. All right. A plain is a low area less than 100 meters. An archipelago is a group of islands. Some books will say it's a cluster of islands. The Bahamas is an example of an archipelago. Japan is an example of an archipelago. The Caribbean is an example of an archipelago, a string or cluster of islands. A peninsula is a long, narrow stretch of land projecting into the sea. Let's see if we have any more. Or, okay. So, too small. Florida is a good example of a peninsula. So it sticks out. All right. So we have water sides. A delta is land formed by soil deposited at the mouth of a river. So Bangladesh is a good place to look for a delta system. All right. A gulf is a large, wide area of sea or ocean pushing the land. So let's go. So the Gulf of Mexico is not a landmass, it's actually a water body. All right. And with the Gulf, we're going to have land on three sides. However, with the peninsula, we have water on three sides. All right. Hope that helps. So let's go with this diagram. We have mantle and core. We have inner core and we have outer core, cross, mantle, and core. So this would be relating to the layers of the earth, and we can use the egg as an example of the layers of the earth, with the eggshell being the crust, or albumen being the mantle, and the yolk being the core. Number 61, the earth is made up of three layers: the core and the crust. So the part that we live on is the crust. All right. Number 63, the middle layer is the mantle. This is rock. The innermost layer is the core. The core is approximately 3,500 kilometers thick. We go to lines of latitude. All right, let's use it as is. So we have the equator, which divides the world into two halves. Everything up here will be called north latitude and the equator south latitude. So we have 23.5 degrees south, the Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degrees north, the Tropic of Cancer, 66.5 degrees north, the Arctic Circle, 66.5 degrees south, the Antarctic Circle, 90 degrees north, we would have the North Pole, and 90 degrees south, we would have the South Pole. Let's remember where these are now. Tropic of Cancer, just imagine that the equator is your waist. Breast cancer is found above the waist. So we would say cancer in the breast, and below the waist, corn on the toe. So we can use this now to remember which one is where. God forbid any of us should have any of these things. But Cancer in the breast and corn on the toe. Let's move on. So it says lines of latitude and longitude are imaginary lines. The equator is the main line of latitude. It divides the earth into two hemispheres, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. Lines of lines of latitude are parallel, meaning that they never what? Touch, and they are the same distance apart. They run from east to west. The equator measures 0 degrees. The Tropic of Cancer is 23.5 degrees north. The Tropic of Capricorn is 23.5 degrees south. The Arctic Circle is 66.5 degrees north, and the Antarctic Circle is 66.5 degrees south. Lines of latitude are numbered in degrees from 0 to 180 degrees. All right, so we had this one already. The prime meridian or Greenwich meridian is the main line of longitude. Let's move on now to the Caribbean. The Caribbean. Slavery was once a feature of the Caribbean region. Emancipation took place in all countries that slaves. Of the people living in the Caribbean region are descendants of Africa. Hold 1 second. All right. Yeah. So most 76, most of the people living in the Caribbean region are descendants of Africa. Sugar cane, yeah, here we go. Sugar cane was manufactured mainly for export to England and was the major crop cultivated in most territories. All right. 78, the mainland countries of Central America and South America are Venezuela, Costa Rica, Panama, Suriname, Guyana, Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Colombia. So those are mainland territories. They are not islands. 79, the islands of the Greater Antilles, big islands, are Hispaniola. Hispaniola would have two countries, Haiti and the Dominican Republic to the east, Puerto Rico, and Jamaica. The Bahamas forms an archipelago of over 700 islands. The big islands are Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. Grenada is known as the Spice Island. 83. The people who lived in the Caribbean before Christopher Columbus came were called the pre-Columbians, later called the Amerindians. The Caribbean region is located in the tropical zone in the northern hemisphere. Caribbean people share many common experiences such as colonial life, slavery, tourist attractions, natural disasters, climate, resources. Caribbean people celebrate different festivals in Barbados, Carnival in Trinidad. We have some fests in Jamaica. The northeast trade winds from the Atlantic affect the southern region of the Caribbean. Let us be reminded, name of the way where it originated river is blow upstream. So the northeast trade wind will actually blow west. So 88 Caribbean Community or CARICOM was established in 1983. The University of the West Indies provides educational links among Caribbean countries. And this week, the gentleman who provided us with this particular resource said that he went to do his degree in Trinidad. Remember, he went to the University of the West Indies to do a course in engineering. All right, in Trinidad. So let's go to 90. The Caribbean Examination was instituted in 1978. Its headquarters is in Barbados. 91. The Caribbean Free Trade Association or CARIFTA was established in 1965. It fosters trade among Caribbean countries. The Caribbean Festival of Arts, CARIFESTA, highlights the cultural links in arts, festival, dance, and crafts among Caribbean countries. Here we have different zones again being highlighted there. Okay, look at it. We have the north cold zone. We have to the north, we're going to have to the south. So if we have a north cold zone, we have a south cold zone. If we have a north temperate zone, we'll have a south temperate zone. If we have the tropical zone section being above the equator, so north tropical, we are going to also have a section being what? South tropical. So the average state of the atmosphere over a long period of time. The factors that affect climate are latitude, altitude, and distance from the sea. The polar zones have the coldest temperature. The equator are hot, while places further away are cold. Temperature gets cooler and cooler as one gets further away from the equator. All right, 98. Altitude or height is a location or distance above sea level. All right, so altitude or location is a location of distance above sea level. 99. The most important resource of any country is its people and the water cycle. Let's see if I can get this in frame. All right, so here we are going to have condensation, rainfall. Rain comes down. I don't know if this diagram has collection, but collection is a part. Then we have evaporation, clouds form, clouds drift by wind, and we have that cycle going again. So the main parts of the water cycle are condensation, precipitation, collection, evaporation, going back to condensation. So here we go now. The meteorologist studies the weather. The anemometer tells the speed of wind. And here we have a diagram showing an anemometer made with plastic cups. The wind vane tells the direction of wind. The rain gauge measures rainfall. The thermometer tells the temperature. All right, that looks like we're end of this little study sheet. So we had just over 100 quick facts that we need to bear in mind. So when you have the time, you can go through the glossary social studies workbook to make sure that you are fully prepared for your GSAT examinations. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next episode.